Federal University of Technology Owerri is one of the Nigerian academic institutions that is always proud of its engineering students. The students of this university are often in the news for one invention or the other. The latest invention coming from the university is the building of a campus-wide surveillance drone, designed by 4 final year students of the Department of Electrical Electronics Engineering.
We now decided to make something very exceptional, something that hasn't really been done in the school before, something at least that can, if not being very well implemented, that can stir up some other good ideas that will come within the minds of the students in the school. So we decided to make a surveillance drone that will actually, most importantly, cover the school campus, then also take a surveillance of the school senate at some point, and give a real-time view and a real-time record of what is really going on at that particular environment.
While these students are celebrated for designing a drone for the university, the story behind the invention is a weird one.
Now, the idea started from the school hostel, when students, when usually in the school hostel in the school building, sometimes some armed robbers come and some people come and threaten the school students and take one irresponsible or dangerous act or the other just to scare the students and maybe obtain things from them. So because of this reason and some of other bad situations, difficult situations we were having in school, so we now decided to make something very exceptional, something that hasn't really been done in the school before.
Of course, the story of Nigerian students designing a drone is fascinating, and many wish to know if the drone was built from the scratch.
The simple answer is we did not design it from scratch. Now, let me explain that. It's more like in any tech environment. You don't design anything from scratch. There's always parts you get that are already made, that are already manufactured, that fit the specifications you need for your design. We had a design, and okay, let's say something like the motor now. We can't go and start constructing a motor, We considered printing the frame on maybe using a 3D printer, but it was the costs of printing it was too high, so we decided on getting a cheaper alternative, which was buying a frame. Then we got the flight controllers. Of course, we are not going to start designing a flight controller. That's like a processor. We buy the same way Microsoft buys processors from Intel, Apple buys processors. That's the same we bought our flight controller, and some other parts. But what makes the quadcopter fly is actually your algorithm, the codes you use, your firmware, what you've coded into it to do. You put your controls in, and it's interacting with the software. It actually carries out the command you want it to do. Flies, it hovers, tries to, modify its positioning based on the inputs because of the algorithms you've put inside. And that was what we did ourselves. That was mainly what we focused on in our project.
For 4 students to team up to build a drone, one would have thought the project would be completed in no time, but apparently building the quadcopter didn't come easy for these students.
It took us some time because we had this, like you said, we have a specific time frame. It was a school project, so we had a start date and an end date, and that was like a year.
Yeah, less than a year.
It was the entire final year. Because we started planning from first semester. You can't start to plan for a project because we already, like we said, we already had something we wanted to do. This is what we wanted to do. We had the vision to build a quadcopter. So the designing, the planning, the calculations, everything. So let's say it was a little over a year, or a little close to a year.
Less than a year.
It was less than a year.
Designing a drone is one of the most difficult projects a supervisor can assign to a group of students in FUTO, according to the students. But despite the many challenges they faced while developing the machine, the students refused to be discouraged when the first drone they designed flew too high and crashed.
During the time we're carrying out some of our tests, one of the things we experienced was that before we mounted the surveillance equipment and feature on the drone, we were trying to test the stability to make sure it was actually flying properly and, you know, staying on the air based on air pressures and everything, wind pressures and everything that we're actually getting to make sure it worked. So when it went so high that we couldn't see it, our drone flew over to another environment that it crashed in the mud. So some of our components got burnt. We lost it, and we had to, you know, get new ones and everything.
That's sourcing for new materials, and we weren't getting them locally.
It wasn't an easy something. It wasn't easy. It was one of the major setbacks. Yeah, it was a setback. We broke propellers. The mud got into the motors. The mud got into the motors. It couldn't even. The motors couldn't move properly again because of the sand and everything that went inside the motors. And again, the microcontroller, the chip that we're using to, you know, as the brain for the drone now, that actually controls the brain, it landed upside down, so it went inside the mud. So it burnt both the some of the LCDs we applied on it and everything. So that was one of the major challenges we faced.
Sometimes a final year project can become a daunting and tedious exercise when students do not have the right lecturer to supervise the project. But that was not the case here, as the students speak glowingly about their supervisor.
He helped us. He was really, because, and the good thing is we're each time we came to him for advice, he saw the progress we were making, you know, and he was really supportive of us. You know, he was telling us different, you know, because there was a point in time where we were trying to export our SolidWorks design, because, you know, when like a normal project, you need to start from scratch. You do your research, you do your design, you simulate it before you actually start doing the project. So during the times when we were trying to export it, to import it into the Simulink to try and we're having very difficulties, you know, putting it into the program and getting the parameters we needed for our algorithm. And he actually talked to us about different angles we could use. He was really supportive, you know, plus he had already spent some time in MIT, so he was used to people having problems with all this software.
These 4 students coming together to design a drone have given Nigerians a sample of what they can achieve as undergraduates, and they seem to have more to achieve in the tech world.
Yes, an amazing project like this doesn't just die, because, I mean, based on the motivation that started it at first, that's a motivation will keep on moving ahead. So one of the things that we have actually thought about is, yes, I won't lie to you, the thought of having a startup has actually crossed my mind. I mean, in every youth in Nigeria now, once you have something amazing, the next thing is to think of having a startup. We have been thinking of, you know, raising some form of awareness and increasing the knowledge and insight about drones in Nigeria, because it's a future technology that at some point, almost everybody will be involved in it, because it's very amazing.